Hi there, welcome back to my online class. Now I'm going to take a class. This class is equally important for the first and second year students, Department of English. Now I'm going to discuss a poem. The poem name is London. It is written by William Blake. So, guys, first of all, I would like to give you a short biography of William Blake, historical reference, and context of this poem. Let's begin with a short biography of William Blake. William Blake was born in 1757 in London, in England, and died in the same city in 1827. He is famous, and his role in the history of literature is much more important for his two outstanding literary works, namely Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. In Songs of Experience, he has vividly portrayed the childhood nature and love, but in his second half of the collection, in Songs of Experience, he has described the mental crisis, human suffering, woes, and distresses at the same time, corruption of the innocence, right? So what is the historical background of this poem and the background? At the time of composing this poem, it was the beginning of French Revolution and Industrial Revolution too. There is a little bit impact on French Revolution in Blake's poem, but there is a drastic impact on Industrial Revolution in Blake's poem and the London itself. You know, uh, as a consequences of industrial revolution, a lot of people were living this villages, and they started to work in the cities, in mills and factories. As a result, kind of pretension, artificiality sees their life, their social standard, and their behavior, right? So it is also polluted the environment as well. As a lot of mills and factories were operating in all over the big cities and towns, a lot of smoke emitted. Uh, it ultimately polluted the whole city, right, and the nature as well, right. There is also a reference of lack of power and the abuse of power. Lack of power in the sense that those who are living in extreme poverty, the average people of the society in London, they have no power. They are very much weak, and another group of the people who are in the top position, they are abusing the power. They are abusing their power. They are setting up some kind of harsh rules and regulation to the common people of the society, right? So now let's begin with the text. So my dear students, if you have a book handy before you right now, then you can open the book and you can also read with me line by line. It will help you to understand the poem easily. Okay. You see there are 4 stanzas in this poem. You will try to give you a literal meaning. Then I will try to explain it critically and try to analyze it as well, right? I'm beginning right now. The first stanza is like that. I wandered through its charted street, near where the charted Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet, mark of weakness, mark of hope. The poet is strolling around the city of London beside the river Thames, and he is noticing kind of weakness and kind of woes, and every people whoever he met, right. In second stanza, I in every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind force manacles I hear. In here in second stanza, every people is suffering from a newborn baby to a fully grown up man, and their voice is restricted. They are not supposed to whatever they would like to speak, and kind of ban, kind of restriction they were forced to do. and they or obviously do something and not to do something. These rules and regulations are set up from the high authority of the country. And the mind force manacles are here. Manacle is a kind of handcuff. They are not physically handcuffed, but mentally they are handcuffed. Kind of mental handcuffed, always chasing them, right? In third stanza, how the sweepers cry, every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldier's shy runs in blood down palace walls. Here is also an image of chimney sweepers suffering. The soot is wrathening of chimney sweepers is blackening the white wall of the church, and the dying blood of the soldiers making the raid of the palace walls. And in the last stanza, it is directly mentioned the red streaks at midnight. The poet is hearing a youthful harlot, a young prostitute, swearing, cursing their newborn babies, and some people are engaging illegal relationship with the prostitute, and possibly somehow they are spreading out the kind of disease with their wives, and thus the picture of destruction of marriage. This is the way the poem ends. Literally, this is the literal meaning of this poem. Now I am going to give you some kind of analysis, and critically I will try to describe it, right? Okay, let's commence with the first stanza once again. The very first line, one term is important, wonder. Wonder means the poem is roaming, or he's strolling around the street of the London aimlessly, and he is not able to change the prevailing situation of this country. And a chartered word is twice used here in first line and second line. This is really important, that the poet wants to emphasize on particular things. The wherever the poet was roaming around, it was captured, it was controlled by the London city. It was not only the London city, but also in the natural stuffs as well. London, Thames is the river, and it is also it is also controlled by the high authority, maybe from the government or the monarchies. And whoever he met, he noticed kind of suffering, kind of distresses, the melancholic mood in every human faces, right? In second stanza, you see the every is 4 times used. Here the picture of a suffering and oppression of people once again. People are crying because they are mentally not happy. They are suffering some kind of melancholic mood, and even the newborn babies are affected by it, and they are not free to speak against the people, kind of ban, always constrained them to talk against the monarchies on the high authority of the society, or those who are in the power. And manacles is a kind of handcuff. They are not. Again I am telling it that this kind of manacle is not physically used. It is kind of mental manacles that is always chasing the people of the society, those who are living in extreme poverty, and there is no rescue from this. This is totally out of control. And in the three stanza, chimney sweepers is a picture of the extreme poverty of the London city, and the suffering once again, suffering of the young child, and church are not doing anything to do something better for the lifestyle of the orphanage, the young children of the London city. And the soldiers are dying here for the someone else's. Here is a mention of corruption in stanza 3. Chimney sweepers and the blackening church poles. It also it also refers the beginning of the industrial revolution, and it also indicates the corruption of the church. And in the third and fourth line of stanza 3, soldiers are dying without any sensible reason, because they are controlled by someone else. And here is also reference of French revolutions. At that time, people talk against the monarchies, and a lot of soldiers dies. And here is a mention of the French revolution, right? And in the fourth stanza, or the last stanza, the degradation or the degradation or the decline of the society, the degradation of morality, the standard of the morality, and the poverty-stricken city of London are mentioned here. The youthful prostitute, the young prostitute are engaging themselves with some illegal physical relationship with someone else's, but they were supposed to make a family. They are supposed to lead a happy conjugal life. Instead of doing that, they are doing something else that is very complainable. And some people are making relationship with these prostitutions, and they are spreading their kind of disease with their wives. And thus here is a picture of destruction of the marriage. This is the way I am trying to explain it. So guys, I think you have understood it, and if you have more questions, please let me know. You can also visit my YouTube channel if you share Samdad Hussaini Mood. Please subscribe my channel, and you can also new videos from there. So I will be appear before you as soon as possible with the new videos. Until then, Allah Hafiz and take care. Thank you.